And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Over the Bars. Do you like my corny voice, Mike?
I always like your corny voice.
Okay, so patreon.com/Over the Bars. Is it backslash, // or slash?
I think it's slash.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's slash it. So, patreon.com/Over the Bars. Pledge to the show and be a part of it, like our newest pledges. Corey Hipp, whoop, whoop, and Matt Maier.
Matt Maier, Go-Kart King.
Heyo, along with our other Patreon pledges. Mike, who are they?
The one and only.
Yes.
Ethan Sloniker.
Number 119 on the Donnell Suzuki, bike-works.com. Ethan Sloniker. And Josh Hudson.
Poor Josh. He didn't even get an intro. No crowd cheering, nothing. You gave him nothing.
He gets a little something.
Just not now on the show.
Just not now. That's right. Yeah.
He's pledging a lot.
Yeah. So, we've got our patreon.com/Over the Bars pledges that are now part of the show. And with their patreon.com/Over the Bar pledge donations, whatever the word is that you want to call it, I'd like to inform you what it is exactly that our friends are getting. Okay, are you ready?
Hit me.
So, let's see. Josh and Ethan both are getting custom, one-off edition OTB sticker packs.
Nice.
Right? Okay. And then Corey Hipp and Matt Maier get custom, one-off OTB sticker packs. Are you ready for this? Mailed to them monthly.
Whoa.
That's
hey,
right.
Yo.
That's right.
There.
Monthly. They get brand new stickers, one-off. New colorways, new additions, new everything.
Hey, you know what?
What?
Something we need to remind these people of.
Yes. What is it?
So you can be a monthly person.
Yes, you can.
But you can also be a one-time person.
Yes, you can. Such as the man, the myth, the legend himself, Hunter Clements.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So you don't have to do the monthly thing. You do the one-time thing.
That's right. Just one and done if you wish.
That's right. One night stand.
I like those.
Yep. We're cheaper.
Correction. I used to like those. Now that I have a girlfriend.
Little shout out there.
Yeah. Okay. So we're also working on readjusting the pledge tiers to incentivize more folks to come in and get those cheaper, less expensive packs. So like a $2 donation gets you a couple stickers, and then that's a one-time deal. And then
high five.
There's a high five with I'll be honest with you. I know I'm coming to this raw and uninformed because I set it up and I don't even remember what it is. But the point is not for me to know it. It's for them. It's for them.
For you.
The listeners.
The listeners. It's all for the listeners.
It's all for the listeners. That's why we do this.
That's right.
Patreon.com/Over the Bars. Pledge today. Michael?
Listen tomorrow.
Yes. Pledge today, listen tomorrow.
Or pledge today and listen today.
You can do whatever you like.
That's right.
That's right. On today's show, all thanks to our pledges, Nick Peterson.
The man.
Ladies and gentlemen, say hi. Say hi, Nick.
Hi, folks.
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's actually start the show.
Let's do it.
OTB, 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 over the bars. OTB.
Yeah, OTB, who's this?
I'm Ethan Sloniker, Bikeworks powered Donnell Suzuki, 250B, 450B, Schoolboy 2, and you're listening to Over the Bars.
We're back.
We're back. We are back.
That we are. And to start the show, as we should every show, the ceremonial cracking of a LaCroix. Mike, go. Nick, your turn. And right here. I love it every time.
You know, when we get 3 of them things going, I could smell them.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yours smells like a beach somewhere, and ours smells like pamplemousse.
Mine smells like one of those grapefruit vitamin C droplets.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
love
does.
those. That's my favorite.
It's delicious stuff. You know, I feel like someone should send these shows
To LaCroix.
to LaCroix and say, hey, guys, let's
You
make-
should hook these guys up.
Yeah, hey, just send us a few cases.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, please.
Yeah.
Plug us.
I think it could use a little sugar, but it's pretty solid.
I'm not going to lie. I love the way this 3-mic setup sounds.
Yeah, it does. It's nice, isn't it? No more passing of the mic. No more passing. All thanks to old Greg.
Old Greg.
Greg.
Powerful old Greg.
Old
More
Greg.
pauses.
Yeah. Factory Greg.
Factory Greg. Mako Greg.
Ah, dang it. You beat me to it.
Mako Greg. The Mako guy.
Yeah.
Hooking us up.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
So, do we have anything to talk about on this episode? I'm not sure.
Nothing. Not a thing. You know what I want to start with?
Start it.
I want to start with, after listening to the intro, with Ethan Sloniker.
Yeah, go ahead.
So last weekend, round 2 of the Missouri State Motocross
Yes, sir.
Championship Series, Casey Moto. Ethan Sloniker, our boy, he laid it down.
Did he win the B classes?
He didn't watch.
Do you know where I was parked?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know why you parked over there.
Because it was shady.
No.
Free shade.
Free shade.
Free shade.
I didn't have to
Free
put my easy up.
No. Well, the people that did got it blown away. So good thing you didn't put an easy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Ethan Sloniker, dude, he killed it.
Did he?
Yeah. And he was the only guy all weekend long. Like there was some cheering here and there.
Yeah.
He had a cheering section.
A whole section.
Whole section.
I would love to have a cheering section for myself.
I think Ethan's the fan favorite.
You're well versed in Ethan Sloniker. You know a few things about him.
I know a couple things.
What do you know about him?
Sometimes he's a pain in the ass. That's what I know about him.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
Never met him. I mean, I've met him, but I've never sat down and had a conversation with him.
Nicholas, yeah, thank you.
There you go. Did you feel like we were at a basketball game?
It was a little squeaky, yeah.
What'd I miss?
He was squeaking his shoes, and I could pick it up. It was picking up in my microphone.
Wow. Supersonic hearing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also partially insane.
That goes without a doubt.
Without saying, even.
Yeah. Without saying, yeah.
Let's talk Casey Moto, Missouri
Casey
State.
Moto.
Casey Moto.
Dude, the
Let's
track.
talk.
Okay, let me just go ahead and say that track set the bar for even national motocross racing conditions at a local level.
I agree, totally.
I agree, I guess.
I mean, you watched.
Yeah, I did. And let me tell you something. You know what I watched? What I watched was the first lap of practice, everybody was hauling.
Well, that's because the track was.
I'm not done. at the end of the second motos, even you guys in
Yeah.
the expert class,
Not at
by
all.
your last lap, you guys were like, wow, coming around through that sweeper section.
My last lap, I was holding on for dear life.
No, it was straight survival mode, that
Yeah.
last moto.
It was gnarly.
Yeah.
There was that section coming out of the back that was supposed to be just, I believe, a smooth switchback section. You guys were like double or maybe triple in the braking bumps, like making an actual
Yeah.
jump out of it.
That was a cool section.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I felt like I did all right through there.
I liked it at first, and then it got a little sketchy, and then I was a little scared through it, and then it got better towards the end.
Yeah, there was that main rut over that little inside lip that we started dragging pegs on both left and right side
Yeah,
because the
sorry.
bike would bottom. And then I'm not going to say I was the first one to do it, but I actually started going a little bit wide and then cutting up because that rut did get pushed out. So there was a little bit of real estate on the inside of that thing to further pop out. And then another rut developed on the outside. I tried passing goalie there one lap, and it was, it was the good old college try, but it didn't work out.
It probably would have if you would have been on an aluminum frame.
Not at all. I would have ate my cereal if I would have been on an aluminum frame.
I'm just saying.
I think the
He made a pretty bold post on Facebook.
I
this
think
week.
I saw.
Yeah.
I think the steel frame 2-stroke worked the best this weekend.
Yes, you were on a 2-stroke. You were back on the RM250.
Yep.
That was the best I've seen you ride in a really long time.
06 model.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Nicholas just sent me a meme that I've seen a couple times a little bit ago that I really enjoy. Michael, you may have seen this, you may have not, but it's pretty baller. It's of this photo of a woman crying, and the first photo is of her just looking down, being all sullen. She says, "The worst feeling is spinning 10K on a 4-stroke." And then she's wiping tears from her eyes. And then it says, "And having a 10-year-old 2-stroke fly past me." And then she's wiping further and says, "I even heard it bog on the way past."
Yeah, I wanted to send it to Adrian, but
That is pretty good, actually.
I think I already hurt his feelings enough.
Did you outright beat him in any motos?
One moto, I finished in front. I did pass him and finish in front of him. A couple other motos, I was right there. Just made some mistakes
Yeah.
and fell down.
I can't tell you how relieved I was whenever I came around the finish line corner and you were laying down in that corner.
I don't even know what happened, but my bike literally just launched out from under me.
Because I came through that corner the lap before and about lost complete control of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
What happened to Alex Malott?
Alex, he doesn't know, actually.
He hit his head.
Yeah, he hit his head and his chest real hard, but he doesn't know how he crashed.
Yeah, he didn't remember, but he was walking around doing fine afterwards.
Yeah, he was riding good, and then I saw his bike was laying there, and his dad, whatever. But then I saw him hanging out in the bleachers afterwards, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him, so I didn't know.
Yeah, he did. He did go to the hospital and get X-rays.
He took a digger.
He took a gold level digger.
You know who took a digger?
Who?
But bounced right back up because him, like all kids, are made of rubber. Cash Vicenic.
That's what. In one of his last motos,
I don't remember which moto it was.
second
but
motos.
He got all sorts of swappy.
So
And smacked him down, but he didn't even stop.
typically at the races, I try to avoid parking by 50 riders at all costs.
Why?
50 dads.
50 dads, Cobras, just the sound, the
You
accessory.
were there once.
Yeah, I was, but we were not on that level. We weren't those crazy little kids with pit bikes and Cobras, Mike. That's the thing. It's the Cobras.
They're so loud.
Yeah.
Zero packing.
Yeah, and
That was pretty good.
you remember how, like whenever we were racing Branson 95, 96, and there was a couple kids that would show up from the coast on Cobras, and we had our little white KTMs.
Yeah, I did.
And our shit was like, and I mean, their shit was like a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the race that my dad finally, we were racing stock and mod, and my dad finally said, "I'm not taking the pipe off. If they want to protest him in 80th place,
Let them.
let him."
Yeah.
Because he's racing again. I remember that because we were racing Cobras.
Yeah.
And I don't know if LEMs or LIM, remember those?
Yes,
You had one.
I did.
Yeah, but before we had those, some kids had those and they were really
Wait,
fast.
do you remember that the Cobras and LEMs both came stock with the FMF pipe and silencer?
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
I had one of those trick orange KTMs that Lucky from that TV show.
Els-
Yes.
LCS? was the name of the
Lucky Cycle.
Yep.
Yep. He built those really cool 50s that had like the big bike fenders, and I had one of those.
Well, those were not custom built.
Well, it was all tricked out.
Yeah,
It was Lucky tricked.
yeah. You guys sent the motor to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my LEM had the same motor package.
It wasn't as cool.
You're right, because mine was an LEM and not a KTM.
Yeah.
But how sick were those white spoke wheels?
Yeah, you did have white spoke wheels. I forgot about that.
You had them too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, your bike had the white wheels on it, Mike. The number 56 KTM butterscotch orange white wheels.
It had white wheels?
Yes, sir, it did.
I don't remember that. I just remember my KX60 with a purple tank.
Nick, what was your first bike?
1999 RM250.
Ooh. Oh.
First dirt bike.
Oh.
At what, 13?
I think I was 14. 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
It's the first two-stroke I ever rode, too.
That,
In a parking lot.
I had a 2000 RM125. That whole era of RMs were, for me, were just terrible. I hated those things.
Not a fan.
No.
I loved mine because I had a dirt bike.
Okay.
We got it from a garage sale.
Hey, honey, let's stop and pick us up a couch at this garage sale. Hey, they got a dirt bike. Let's get us a dirt bike. How much does that thing cost?
I think my dad paid $1,000 for it.
At a garage
At a garage sale.
Yeah.
Your dad was just cruising through a garage sale. I'm drop.
It was right behind his work.
Oh.
So he spotted it,
He
got the
spotted
cash,
it.
and then
Okay.
went back.
Okay.
He borrowed money from his friend, I think.
Oh.
We were broke.
Oh.
But you had a dirt bike.
Had a dirt bike.
We had a dirt bike.
And a
You've
dream.
You've been broke since.
I've been broke since.
Yeah, ever since I started paying for my own shit, I've been
Yeah.
a poor man.
Oh, yeah.
At what year was it that you went back to like the 94 Honda? This was fairly recent. I mean, like,
Well, I didn't own that bike. I only rode it one time.
that makes the story even better about being broke. You didn't even own the 94 Honda that you were racing.
I don't even remember
I didn't
this.
race it. I rode it in Green Valley for one single day.
Oh, I thought you raced it.
No,
Oh,
never,
so-
no,
Oh,
no,
I
sir.
thought you were like racing it.
I don't think I ever raced anything like that.
Oh, that was about that was before like Jerry Robin too.
Yes.
That was before Jerry Robin became big with his
His
85.
85, yeah. No, I only rode that. That was Chad Newman from Area 51. So the guy that he leases his building from, this dude Jared bought that bike from somebody and had it for a long, long time. And it was just sitting in the storage area. And I was like, hey, can I ride that sometime?
Do you remember, talk about Jerry Robin, the real OG Jerry Robin would be Greg Garrison at Merwin State Race when, like, their very first state race. He
Yeah.
brought his 97, was that 97 CR250? Whatever, rode a lap on it. Was like, nah, I'm going to ride my 74 Mako in the 250 novice class or whatever.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Downpipe.
Sick.
Smashed it.
Elsinore.
No, it was a Mako.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I just heard you say Mako.
But there was a couple of my dad's buddies did ride their Elsinores at Kingsville for a lap,
Sick.
and then it smashed her.
Yep.
They were done.
Because of how peaked out the
Yeah.
jump faces are?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No. And if you jumped them, I broke a Elsinore in half.
Yeah.
Because if you jumped like you're a modern jump, you're going to break it in half. But if you don't jump a modern jump, you just ride over it. It's so peaked that it's going to smash something.
Nick, have you ever rode a vintage bike?
I think the oldest bike I've ever ridden was a 78 RM250, right around the time where I first started riding because my dad's buddy had one.
But you've never, since then, you haven't rode vintage?
Actually, take that back. I rode a 84, 85, something like that RM250 at Merwin last year.
Whose bike was it?
Todd Hasty's.
Yeah.
And I think it was the fastest the bike's ever been ridden. And when I brought it back to them, the whole thing was smoking for about 10 minutes. And I never looked back.
You race vintage?
I did. Not last year, but the year before. Me and Christie's had an all-out war
Yeah.
at
Greenwood.
Greenwood. Rest in peace.
Yeah, no more Greenwood.
Nope.
Sad
It's
day.
gone.
Yeah, dude. And it was, Nick, it was the perfect vintage track. It truly was.
Heard it was one of the better ones.
I gotta be honest with you. For me, when I was riding or racing vintage
Yeah.
on a more consistent basis was always more fun.
Than racing actual motocross?
Than vintage is actual motocross, but I understand what you're
modern.
saying. Yes, than racing modern.
I understand that.
Modern days were
Just
so
a little-
up and down.
Yeah.
Just a little less pressure, maybe.
I don't know if it was the atmosphere was more fun. It was
Yeah.
just like the whole thing was just a lot
Easy
of fun.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll attest to that, Nick. Even though Chris and I had just amazing battles, both motos, and we were straight hauling the mail, it was still one of the most fun times I've ever had riding a dirt bike. Just the atmosphere, dude. Practice was a wash because my front brake, the little bolt, you know how on the older bikes there was a bolt that would adjust the front brake lever play? That little bolt backed out all the way up against the lever, so the brake was locked up as I was riding. I got like 2 laps of practice in them.
Was it a drum brake or a disc brake?
Disc. It was a disc. And then, but dude, it was awesome racing because Chris was on the Jeff Hockett's. Were we riding 89s?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had an 89 RM250, and then I was on an 89 WRYZ converted into a motocross bike. So it actually had the heavier flywheel and stuff.
Those bikes handle really well on like flatter tracks like that. I noticed that when I rode at Merwin, even with the ruts and stuff, the bike, once you got used to the lack of brakes compared to modern bikes,
Right.
those things handled really well.
Well, that's the suspension on them is so soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me just go ahead and say, the ultimate combo, steel frame 2-stroke.
Yep. I think the RM I rode was the first year maybe they had the disc brake, front disc brake, not a rear disc brake. It just had a front. So maybe it was 88. You would know that, Mike, more than I would, probably. No.
No.
I don't know.
At a
Somewhere
loss.
You want to know the only hair scramble I've ever ridden?
What?
Was on a CR480, a 1983 CR480 Honda.
How long was the actual race?
2 hours.
What?
Did
it
you
2 hours?
finish?
I did finish. I got third overall. It was third overall in my class, but I went into it thinking I was going to be a big shot. I was like, I got this.
Yeah.
Dude.
All vintage bikes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the vintage guys, like, they mean business on the track.
Mm-hmm.
In the woods, they mean business.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have guessed it to be the other way around.
No. And in the 30 minutes in, I'm like, I'm dying.
Yes.
And a 480 Honda is a terrible idea to try and take through the woods. So I kept killing it, crashing. I fell off a log into a creek. And listen to this. So you would think elder gentlemen would be like, oh, the poor kid fell off in the creek. They were looking at me like, there's another guy down.
Yeah.
Past him.
They laughed at you.
Yeah. I'm just laying down there like, how do I get out of this?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So where was that? Where was that?
It was in
at?
Greenwood.
Oh,
Only hair scramble I ever rode. First one and last one on purpose.
I've done a couple.
I rode it because that was about the time that Pastrana was like my hero.
Yes.
And he started doing a whole bunch of different things, and he was great at all of them. And I was like, I'm going to be the Pastrana of the weekend out here for the MoviMX Memorial Day.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm going to go out. I'm going to win the hair scramble. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to win the motocross. They had hill climbing. I was going to win the hill climb that night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done hill climb.
Neither have I, because I got through the hair scramble. I was like, I'm done.
I'm trying to think of who it was that used. Oh, Jesse George was doing hill climbs for a while.
Jesse George has done everything.
True.
Supermoto.
At Holt, he was doing those hill climbs like regularly.
Uphill or downhill? What do you if you are at a gnarly track, do you feel more comfortable going uphill or downhill?
Nick, I'll let you take that one.
Track or hair scramble?
We'll do both.
It's kind of a tough call because, I went to Lake Whitney once, and that uphill they had was pretty gnarly and really, really fun. It was huge. And then last year I went to Millville on Pro Day, and that downhill, biggest downhill I've ever ridden, and I loved it. It was super fun.
Yeah. So
you're a downhill guy.
Yeah, if we're in the woods, I'm not super good at, like, hill climbs where you're coming around a turn or something like that, and you've got to, like, lug it up the hill.
Okay.
Not so good at those. Probably, if it was in the woods, I'd probably be a downhill guy, but the motocross track is a little of both.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever thought of preferring one or the other.
You've never thought of that?
No, that's one thing I haven't thought about.
Have you been to Whitney?
Yeah, I did Whitney
I was
multiple
gonna
times.
say you've probably done that one.
Well, the uphill was always cool, yeah, just because there was nothing else like it. But what made the uphill cool was the corner that was rutted and whooped out before it, that was like second gear wide open and then going up the hill. And you would click third going up the hill, and then there was that little single, and then you'd have to click down into second and be so far over the front of the bike, and they'd go do 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 all the way up, and then there was a little kicker, and then you pop up, and it was like a 6-foot table.
Remember Finger Lakes had one like that?
Actually, someone and I were talking about that last weekend. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Remember whenever it went, okay, so the track used to, now it just does that horseshoe where you go up in the woods and come down. But it used to go a little bit further left. You go up that uphill and then launch way down into the mud pit parking lot.
Yep. Going into that, I'm an uphill guy.
Yeah.
And it started when I was a kid because at Kingsville, my very first time riding, rode straight up the finish line.
Yep.
Got off my bike, laid it down, started crying. My dad had to lay down on the ground and roll down the downside, down the landing of the finish line to show me that if I fell down, it wouldn't hurt. And that stuck with me to this day. It doesn't matter. Even if I'm in a razor, I would much rather go up a hill than downhill. I don't know why. But like Finger Lakes, you went up. Yeah, that was really cool. But when you got to the top and you had to go down, I was instantly brakes locked, just panic mode. Hated that thing.
There was a track out Hillsboro, Kansas. Went there only one time, and it was in the middle of nowhere. The track was one of the worst that I've ever ridden in my life. Half of the track was like broken up gravel,
like chat.
Yeah, shale would actually be a better shale. Yes, sir.
You can make chalkboards out of it.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's right. The other half was just like old Kingsville clay. Just pure packed down clay. They did a shit job for prepping, and then they had this thing. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
They called it dun 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 the Pro Hill. Okay, and the only classes that rode the Pro Hill are 125A, 250A,
54 to 6.
No, big bike open and super mini, and 54 to 6. Yes, correct.
6.
Yeah, and so it was weird because the track just kind of like disappeared into this trail, and you'd go up this trail that was about 4 foot wide, and it just kind of wound back and forth, and you were obviously going uphill. It seriously took like 20 seconds to get to the top of the hill, and then there was a tree with a little berm built around the outside of the tree, and then just a drop off, and you'd click like fourth gear by the time that you were at the bottom of it. You would have hated it, but
I would have just stopped up top.
Yeah, laid it down. Shut her down.
Do you remember when we did that, you and I? Our dads told us at John Christopher's house, don't go up that hill.
Yes.
And we went up it, you fell, and then I fell, and we couldn't get our bikes up, so we just laid in the woods yelling, Dad!
Yeah.
My dad was so mad.
That hill was so small in retrospect.
It really was. It wasn't a big hill at all, but we were on 50s. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been to John Christopher's.
It's
been a minute.
I rode a KTM 450 out there one time in 2011.
It's way too much for the track.
Yeah.
For the trails, it'd be fun, but...
Oh, we rode this. See, I did the whole loop. I did
trail loop?
The moto and trail. I did like 5 laps on the motocross track. I was like, screw it. I'll just ride both at the same time.
He's got a good setup.
It's pretty technical.
Yeah, it's a cool setup. I liked it.
Did you hear they're doing that? Oh, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now before I forget. I don't know if you heard, Michael. The Soggy Bottom MX Missouri State Race has been moved to Kingsville next weekend.
Yep, I heard that.
I would have rather rode Soggy Bottom out of the two.
I've never been to Soggy Bottom.
It's terrible.
Nick doesn't do Kingsville.
I don't do Kingsville anymore.
Can we please go through the story of how it is that you got to where you now say, I don't do Kingsville anymore?
We can go through the story.
Okay. So, what was the first of many incidents that started this off with RJ?
Well, I don't know what the first one was, but I know I can recall two major incidents that were problems. And I think for a long time they've kind of had it out for me, and I don't really know why other than the fact that, I'm honest, and I tell it how it is. So if the track's not good, I'm going to say the track's not good. But I always went and made sure that I told them thank you for being open.
Right.
And giving us a place to ride. But the first incident that I remember, I was out there racing, and this has been 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and they double gated us, the pro class, with the novice or intermediate class, something silly, and the track was going the way it is now, and that's when they had the whoops, not little jumps, it was whoops, I think, and they started the pro class. We went around a lap. And by the time we were exiting the whoops, that's where the second turn for the finish line is.
Yes.
The double gated class was going into the turn.
Okay.
And so they continued the race for 2 laps. And I had done something, I forget, and we had to pass like half their class.
Right.
And then I did something, I goofed up, and one of the guys got in front of me. I think it was John Barry. And
so you were riding the A class, and this is whenever John was still in B.
No, I think John was in the A class. John was in my class.
Okay.
And I think it was John. I was trying to pass somebody, I took a silly line or something, and then John got by me or something weird like that. Anyway, they ended up red flagging it. And I came off the track, and I was furious because my goggles were full of dirt, full of sweat. So I came off the track, and RJ absolutely hates it when people go fast through the pits. Absolutely.
But you had to
hates
get
it.
back to the starting line, right?
I had to get back, but I did do this on purpose. I pinned it through the pits. I did do this. I knew he hated it. I was first gear.
Because at every single riders meeting, he says numerous times, all right, guys,
absolutely.
let's go slow through the pits,
Yep.
first gear, idle speed, helmet on.
Yep, the same thing every time, broken record, and I was furious. So I clicked her down to first gear.
Yeah.
Held it wide.
First gear?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, what gear are we talking?
I wasn't going really fast, but I was wide open. And then so I went to my
In the pits, wide open first gear is pretty fast.
It's still fast. It
for the
sounded worse than it actually was, but still.
I think it did. But they were really upset because they said that I flung gravel all over cars. No, that wasn't
Not
the
true.
case. I think they just exaggerated that a little bit. But anyway, I flung some gravel. My bike was really loud. I was going a little bit faster than walking pace through the pits. So they were pissed. RJ got to the gate faster than I did. I don't know how,
Okay.
but he was there. I didn't even say a word to him. I was furious. I was about to fight. And so I just went and started prepping my gate, and then he yanked my arm and started yelling at me. I started yelling at him. It was a whole catastrophe. And I don't know, it was just a miscommunication with him and the gate guy. The gate guy was new, didn't know what to do, whatever. But anyway, end of the day, me and RJ talked. He apologized to me. I apologized to him. I figured that deal was fine, was good.
But that was the base.
I think that was the first
rocky
real
relationship.
incident.
Okay.
Other than riding multiple practices, which everybody knows for whatever reason, RJ can't stand that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's how it is. So then the next one was the most recent one that I can remember, and it was just a practice day over the summer, and I was taking a line after the finish line. They have this little split section, and he has banners in this split section, and the track was not in very good shape. It was, I don't know what had happened, but it wasn't watered very much. It wasn't tilled very much, but it was a weekday practice. And so the lines right there were not very favorable. So the banner was down. So I was going from the inside to the outside over the hump.
You were going inside to inside, essentially.
Inside, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just basically making a straight line through the section.
Yeah.
Which, no banner. I didn't really think it was a big deal. I wasn't the only rider doing it. Chris Thies told me that he does it all the time. He wasn't there that day. But, I'm not the only person that does it. Apparently, I'm the only person they've ever seen do it because that's what, they yelled at me for that. Anyway, so I'm going through there. I come around a lap, and when I land that finish line, I hold it wide open, and then so I saw RJ. As I was approaching the turn, I saw RJ in the middle of the turn fixing the banner. So I'm like, okay, I got to turn real quick. So I turned real quick, and I slid in the turn and then went around and then did my lap. And when I came around, I think I only did one lap. And I came around, and he pulled me off, or he stopped me. It was in the middle of the track. He stopped me, and he was yelling at me, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, the first thing he said was, did you fucking mean to do that? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And apparently I roosted him. And I said, no, I didn't mean to roost you. I'm sorry. And he didn't like it. He thought I was lying. All honesty, I did not mean to roost him, but when I slid sideways, the track was slick, like I said, so there was no rut. It was they had put mulch and stuff on there, so I slid. And, if you're standing in the middle of the track in a turn like that, you're going to get roosted. I don't understand his thought process, but it happened. And I told him I was sorry. I didn't mean to roost him. He didn't like that, so he started yelling at me. I started yelling back. He told me not to yell at him because it's his track, so apparently I'm not allowed to yell. And then I started to pull off. He threw a full water bottle at me, and it hit me, and didn't hurt me, but it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
So then I pulled off. He said, he told me to pack it up. I said, okay, well, give me my money back. And then he told me no, blah, 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 long story. So I go over to my pit, and I'm sitting there, and I had brought Ethan with me.
Okay.
So Ethan was practicing. So I loaded my stuff up. And RJ walks over, and he hands me my money, and he's yelling at me about a few things, and I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm like, whatever, done. And so I'm sitting there because Ethan wanted to practice, and then so like 30, 40 minutes goes by, and RJ walks up. He's like, "Are you testing me, Nick?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you're still here." I said, "Yeah, I brought my buddy here to ride." Along with these 6 other people next to me that I brought. They were, they wanted to ride where I was riding. And, then he got all pissed and walked off. But that was pretty much the majority of the story.
So was that the straw that broke the camel's back to where you refused to go back now?
Pretty much. I just, I try to be as respectful as I can. But I don't think they like it, when I tell it how it is sometimes. And, RJ's kind of stuck in his ways, which is whatever. But, the track is the same old to me. It's kind of, boring. They say they're going to make all kinds of new changes, and they put a couple bumps in the turn. The only positive thing I can say about it is usually you get a pretty good prep track when you're there. But, they don't respect me, so.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
I have no problem with RJ. I've never ran into these issues. This sounds like Chad Reed in the AMA.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
RJ is John Gallagher to me.
But then there's other people like myself. They're very nice to me. I'm not riding.
Yeah.
But Brittany and I spend a lot of time there.
Can I just go ahead and say that I understand what you say whenever you talk about the track not being any different? Mike and I's first race was on the same weekend in 1995. And the track has changed very, very little since then.
Yeah. I liked it how it was when I first started riding. It went the opposite way of it does now. Had some big jumps that you could get a little crooked on. I liked it.
Get a little torqued up.
Yeah, and then they made the big changes. They cut every jump in half.
Safety.
You know, and that's fine. They gotta cater to the masses, but you know, it's just It's just the same old to me. So, you know, for a while I just go there every, you know, once a month or once every couple months.
So you're not going to the state race?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going?
You bet your ass.
You're a double points leader now, aren't you?
No. Fletchall has 1 point on me in the 450 class.
Really?
Yeah.
He struggled at Casey Moto a bit.
That was not very favorable. Dude, he crashed so hard right in front of me. It was, okay, so the long roller section, then you go left and then roller, step up, right? Okay, so between roller 1 and roller 2, it was a corner.
Yeah.
And the ruts were getting out of control. And my first moto, the one that I did not very good in, the same exact thing happened to me, but I saved it. Miracle. Colin jumped out of the first roller a little too far. And for those that haven't been, it's about 4.5, 5 foot tall. So it's a blind roller. You can't see what's on the backside of it. And it drops downhill a little bit after that. Colin squirrel dogged it and launched too far out, landed in the ruts, crossways, and just straight over the bars. He went over the bars. It augured himself into the ground. I thought for sure that he was going to be KO'd or like separated shoulder by the way he crashed. I was directly behind him whenever it happened. But then sure enough, whenever I pulled off the track, I saw that he rode or was still riding around.
Wait, which part of the track was it?
Okay, so you do the rollers, like the long set.
Yep.
After the start, then you go left, right? And then the roller, ruts, roller.
Yeah.
In between those two rollers.
I got sketchy on that once.
So in the first moto, I was in third on the third lap. And I don't know why, but I missed my back brake going up that first one and did the same exact thing. Launched out, landed cross-rutted, and then the only way to get out of it was gas it out. Gassed out of it, swapped, started to high side, caught the top of the second roller, flying W'd my way into the big step-up face, feet off of the pegs. And my heart rate went from 190 to 220 like that. And for the rest of the race, I was completely smoked. It was at that moment where I just dropped anchor.
All it takes is just one tiny little
Isn't that crazy how it works?
You're done.
Yeah, and my heart rate eventually did get back down, but by the time that it did, the race
still flustered.
Yeah.
I hit a false neutral over that jump in front of Colin because I had fallen. That's the moto I fell in the finish line turn.
Okay.
And I hit a false neutral going into that table, the first step up. I thought I was done.
So did you happen to see whenever I pulled a whole shot in the first 250A moto, my absolutely textbook turn down scrub whip over that first step up?
No.
Dude.
I didn't see it because
the coolest jumps are in the back.
All time. It was an all-time maneuver. If I can just say, it was one of those things, Nick, have you ever done something while you're racing and you're like, whoa, I'm actually good.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, I did that at that moment. After I pulled that big old hole shot and just...
What happened to you in the one moto? You might have been caught up in that too. There's like 4 of you guys that went down and you were monster trucking over people's bikes.
Which
moto?
450 Moto 1.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
After the second turn, going into the third turn, you come off the start.
Right? Yep.
There were bikes everywhere.
Everywhere.
You were hopping bikes and
yeah,
I don't think I got caught up in that.
I went from last to 10th back to last.
Yeah. All in one.
In 2 corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good talk.
There was some carnage, but it was good racing.
That was seriously...
You know what?
What?
I'm cutting you off because I've got a hot topic. Well, no, not a hot topic.
The hot topic?
No,
don't you do that.
What is it?
As gnarly as Casey Moto was,
Yeah.
I was really impressed. No one got hurt. I mean, there were some guys that got bunged up.
If I can tell you why. Everybody was riding super slow because the track was gnarly.
Yeah, the speeds kind of slowed, or
That's true.
the roughness kind of slowed
I
you
did
down.
hear somebody on Saturday might have got hurt. Somebody broke a collarbone or something.
Yeah, my buddy Chadson.
So that's the thing, dude, is like, it's funny how everybody bitches. I guess that Jeremiah did tell me that he had people coming up to him saying that the track was too rough. It was too gnarly.
Oh, yeah.
It's unsafe. look at how many people got carted out. No, it's not unsafe. It's safer.
Yeah,
because
it really
everybody's
is.
going so much slower.
Yep. Your chances of tipping over, if you're a novice beginner rider, are a lot bigger, but
Yeah.
Or
you know,
expert.
you're not going as fast as out of control.
Yeah, people are going to fall over more, but big picture, crash less,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
You know what's
Yeah.
gnarly with a track like that?
What?
From an announcer, that was very weird. From an announcer standpoint,
What? I'm going to hit you with those.
in one lap's time,
Yeah.
somebody can crash where if you crash at most tracks, you're pretty much done.
Yep.
Like you may catch back up. There were multiple races guys crashed and they'd come around for lap 1 in 8th. They'd come around the next lap in the lead. They'd crash again and they'd be in 6th. They'd come back around and they'd win.
There's a lot of opportunity to make up time on the track.
A track like that, aside from the pro class, because I had a couple incidents in the pro class where, everybody's going the same speed. A couple guys are a little bit faster. It's hard to catch back up. But, in the intermediate novice beginner classes, that kind of track really sets some riders apart. So, some of the...
And
you
the
can
whole
tell
time
difference with
thing?
them.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what we started out with.
It was for all classes, it was 8 plus a lap, and then A was 10 plus a lap.
Well, I can just tell you that although they may have only ran 4 laps, maybe 5, whatever, for the amateur guys,
Yeah.
that was like the equivalent of like 20 laps on any other track. And you could tell there was always that one guy. He'd run like 6th the whole race.
Yeah.
And then the last lap, he wasn't tired and he'd win. And that was always really exciting.
Do you love it?
I love it.
The race felt like a really long time. Couple motos I liked it.
Tell me about it.
Couple motos I didn't like it.
I felt so bad for the 50 guys that, like the little guy, he was 3 years old.
That's what the 50 beginner track's for.
Well, okay, yes, but he was fast enough. He was in a 4 to 6. But I'm just
Okay,
saying,
but
like he got 1 lap.
Yeah. The last time that I did race control was flagging. It was the
Yeah.
same. It was the same story. There was a kid that made 1 lap per moto. Now, and the track was nowhere near as gnarly at the last.
Why was it so much gnarlier this time?
The amount of sawdust plus all the rain that they got
They
earlier
got
in the
like
week.
5 inches of rain during the week. Just the
Wow.
1 week, not even the weeks leading up, where they got like another 10 inches.
Yeah. That's what proper moisture does.
And Jeremiah's smart, because after every single time that big track's ridden, he rips it back up. So when it rains again, it soaks down deep.
Yeah. Very, very smart. And that's how you get pro level conditions.
I wonder if he still has his UTV track out there.
Yeah.
And the vet track and all that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all there.
And they're really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are fun on a dirt bike.
Uh-huh. Awkward silence.
No,
Yeah.
it's not awkward. I'm just waiting for Michael to
I'm
take it.
very this is very carbonated tonight.
That one's a little extra spicy for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I burped a couple times.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's a burpee moose.
I've had a couple. The cocoa nut is all right. I actually tried the Target brand LaCroix.
Never steer away
It's-
from LaCroix.
It's called like Natural Essence or something like that. Delicious. The flavors are amazing, but dude, the fizz in it is so much gnarlier than it is in LaCroix.
Is it like the Best Savor brand? Is it like Duckroy instead of LaCroix?
Duckroy.
Duckroy.
It's Dirk Roy. I love some Dirk Roy.
If you guys want like a like something like this that's sweet, like a healthier like soda,
There's no such thing as a healthy soda.
Hanson's.
No,
Try it. Just
no.
like it may not be healthy.
Isn't that the same made by Isn't that made by Coca-Cola?
It may not be
Yeah, because
healthy.
Coca-Cola bought out Hanson's and turned it into Monster. It's pure cane sugar. It has just as much sugar.
I love sugar.
Yeah, you do. It has just as much sugar as the next.
Yeah, but it's real sugar and not high fructose corn syrup.
You know what has high fructose corn syrup?
Ketchup.
I actually, you know what? It's funny because I didn't know that until just recently.
Yep. Ketchup.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's the number one ingredient.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
became a mustard fan. But what's really sweet is Jeff has a new friend.
I do have a new friend,
Yes, you
Bingo.
do.
but this exact moment is not the time to talk about it. Let me tell you why. Because we're going to hear from Josh Hudson.
We are?
Yeah,
Our buddy Josh?
right now.
Hi guys, this is Josh Hudson with Fox Racing, and you're listening to Over the Bars podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Unfortunately, I'm sure we're going to have to hear another race report from Jeffrey, but it will all be worthwhile when we get to hear from Mike Garrison and the Hot Topics.
Boom, it's Hot Topic time.
Brought to you by Josh Hudson of Fox Racing.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
We're deep.
All right, Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yes.
Well, let's go straight to Supercross.
Hit me with it.
Okay, I learned something today thanks to my lovely wife, Brittany.
Yes.
She read up 70 miles an hour coming into the stadium.
Yeah, no, they do that every time. It's like 70 miles an hour every time.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's take 70 miles an hour over the bars. Jordan Smith.
Yep.
I actually
70 mile an hour over the bars.
I only saw the highlight of the crash. I didn't see the crash happen live action.
Well, you're missing out because it was a gnarly crash anyway. But when you factor in how fast he was going, how many people could say I went over the bars at 70 miles an hour? That's like going down the highway just grabbing a handful of front
And
brake.
walked away.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he hopped right up and skipped off the
He
track,
was hurting, but
he was hurt.
okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
Rough.
Real
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
You know what though?
What?
Not as rough as Hot Topic number 2.
Okay, actually, Nicholas, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay.
Take Hot Topic number 2.
Let's take 2.
He's taking it.
Hot Topic. Let's see. Is it Jordan Smith?
Oh, technically he is a Hot Topic. Okay, let's go to
Yeah.
Hot Topic number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so Adam C.
Adam C.
I was impressed.
Okay, well, I was impressed, but I had no clue that he was even in the running for the championship.
I had no clue either. And then once I learned, I was rooting for him. I was hoping that he would win it.
So I'm doing my little announcing thing from the living room, and I'm like, oh, Adamson's real out front, blah, 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 blah. And in the background, she's like, hey, he's in the points lead right now. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, he was down 2, I think.
Yeah, he was down 2, whatever.
But he was close.
Yeah.
And nobody really factored in that
No.
he could win it.
No, not even close.
And
okay.
so that was exciting.
That was exciting. Obviously, okay, so I thought Sabachi had it. And rumor is Sabachi's pit board a couple laps before the end said champ. And
Yeah, he wrote on Instagram that he had a communication error. So I assume that the signs he was reading on his pit board were not what they should have been.
he also did not receive the message that there was a missile coming behind him.
Exactly.
Named Zach Osborne.
Yep. He was coming in hot, and he meant business.
Was it dirty business, or is that what you got to do?
No, it wasn't dirty. And in fact, I watched the crash again a couple times today, and someone pointed out it only looked dirty because of the way that Sabachi's bike latched onto Osborne's bike and the way he fell.
Also, I was made aware also, and by watching it, Sabachi did not back out of that whatsoever. Like,
No.
he grabbed a handful when they got together.
he felt him there, and then he pinned it.
Yeah, he pinned it to win it. But he did get fined for it.
I think that's stupid. It's racing, especially for a championship. Now, if he wouldn't have fallen, if the bike wouldn't have gotten stuck on him, it would have looked a whole lot different. It wouldn't have looked as aggressive.
Okay, let me ask you this. Next hot topic. So, a lot of people online saying, hey, Osborne, yeah, way to go, way to go. But then they turn around and they're criticizing Eli Tomac for the things that he was doing, trying to bunch up the pack, mess with Dungey. In theory, he was going for a championship too. Was that dirty?
No. If I were Tomac, I probably would have pulled out a few more tricks, but
Tomac did say that he was not out to hurt anybody. He just wanted to win the championship.
Yep. And then that made me think of Reed and Stewart back in 2009.
Yeah.
When Reed tried to take out James Stewart, on purpose, coming out of that Monster Alley or whatever they were calling it. He was unsuccessful in the takeout.
That is a beautiful transition to our next hot topic, Chad Reed. Do you think Chad Reed could have won had Anderson not taken him out?
I think so. He was going pretty fast.
Was he going that fast, or was Tomac bunching him up so much that it made him and Grant, those guys, look fast?
Could be a little of both. I think they were probably fired up because it was the end of the season.
So his butt patch, Chad Reed's butt patch, said, that's all, folks. But
For the season.
that's right. We have learned that he does not have a ride for next year.
Someone told me that they think that he's calling it after outdoors. Now, you can never be sure of rumors because it's all speculation until they release a press release.
My guess is if he doesn't have a ride and he doesn't get one, he's not going to do his own thing again, so he's done. But if somebody will give him a ride, he'll be back.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
Who would take his spot at Yamaha, though?
Aaron Plessinger.
Powerful Aaron Plessinger.
Plessinger.
Plessy.
Plessinger.
Plessy.
You think that's who will take it?
I don't know. I just like him. He's cool.
He's
Who else is on the Star
in the
Yamaha?
system.
Who's on the Star Yamaha that'd be moving up?
Maybe Millsaps. Maybe Davey Millsaps. Who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe Josh Grant.
We'll see.
I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to there was no fine for Tomac, but Osborne got fined. Should there, if there was a fine for Osborne, should Tomac, out of fairness, been fined for his antics?
Because Tomac didn't. I don't know. Tomac didn't hit anybody that hard, but at the same time, after that championship bonus, I don't think Zach Osborne cares about that money.
I don't think Zach Osborne paid for that. I feel like his team
probably, the team probably paid for it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Jeff
it was worth it.
Jeff,
it was worth it.
Let's get your take on the whole Osborne thing. You're a little closer to the Osborne circle than we are.
Okay, what would you like to know?
What was your take on it? Would you have done the same thing?
Yes, I would.
I know that for a fact because Jeff's done that to me at
I've done
that
for mid-pack at a Liquid Nitro arena cross for $50.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do I believe that Zach went in for the kill? Yes. Do I believe that Zach went in with intention of hurting Joey?
No.
No. If you read the rule book or that specific section of the rule book, it is so open for judgment, or interpretation, I should say. It's very gray. If you very closely read what it is that it says, it basically says, we're just going to take it case-by-case basis, which is bullshit.
Yep.
It either needs to be one or the other. It's supercross. It's a physical sport. People are going to run into each other. There's going to be block passes. How do you say, is one pass, gnarlier than another? Yes, but are we trying to pussify super professional racing?
You know what I want to know?
What?
How does Osborne, I get that was gnarly and it was like the highlight of the whole show.
Yeah.
But how does he get fined? And Vince Freeze has never been fined. How does that guy never get fined? Or like the guy that smashed into the guy in the LCQ.
Yeah.
Like those, I realize they aren't as important, but still.
Boom. That's what it is right there. See, the thing is the camera wasn't necessarily on them. Now, and I side with Weston Pike whenever he said it's bullshit that they're going to let Vince Freeze do this shit and then use it for promo.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to use the Osborne takeout for promo.
See, now here's the catch with that. The AMA and FIM are the ones that are handing out the fines.
Feld handles.
Right, but Feld is the one that's doing the promotional footage, okay? So people get upset and say, well, that's bullshit. They shouldn't be able to use that promo footage if they're going to fine the riders, which to an extent,
I get the point, but I see where you're going.
It's not the same people.
Right, no, I get the spirit of it, but the truth of the matter is, Feld is not there to police the races.
Yeah.
They're there to put on the show, and they're there to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the AMA is there to officiate the racing.
Mm-hmm.
Just as the same with, like in MMA, the UFC is there to put on the show, and they are the brand of MMA. But like whenever they're in Nevada, the Nevada Gaming Commission is the one that actually officiates the fights themselves. Same exact situation. You play by the rules of the state that you're in MMA. Whereas in motocross, we play by the rules of the sanctioning body. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that Feld needs AMA or FIM. It just so happens that Feld is locked into a contract with them for multiple years to come.
Feld gets a lot of crap, but I think they do a good job putting on a show.
I think that they do a fantastic job with the show.
And I think that, like you're saying, not just with rules, I think a lot gets thrown back on them that isn't really them, that may or may not be the AMA or the FIM or something like that.
And it's a two-way street because you could say the same thing about...
That's true.
About...
The AMA makes Feld look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And Feld makes the AMA
And
look
Feld,
bad.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You're right. Next hot topic. Moving on. Got to bring this back up here. Josh Grant.
Go ahead.
Impressed, not impressed, or just whatever?
I think that Josh Grant rode par for the course.
Nick?
You know, I'm a Josh Grant fan. I was pretty impressed, but at the same time, you know, a healthy Josh Grant is a really good Josh Grant.
Did that ride get him a contract next year?
It helped him for sure. If it didn't sign on the line, then it did help him.
Did you know he has a clothing brand?
Yes.
I had no idea that he had a clothing brand. I've seen the Happy Life Tonight?
Happy living in the now.
Happy Living in the Now. I've seen that before, but I didn't know that was him.
Yeah. See,
not a clue.
Yeah, no, it's him, Jason Anderson, and a couple of the guys went in together on that project.
Yeah.
So that's why Anderson and Grant are boys, and we're high-fiving each other so hard at the end of the race.
Oh, I didn't know that. See?
It was brought to my attention that I'm talking way too quiet. So we're doing a little mic test right now with the headphones.
Got some headphones on.
I need to step it
nice.
up a notch.
Do you hear yourself better?
I hear it, yeah.
Okay.
I need to like yell in this mic.
Not quite yell, but that's a good talking volume.
Yeah,
that you're
this is
doing.
a good voice right now.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah. And do you know how that I learned that Josh Grant had that clothing company?
Tell me.
Andrew Campos knew Evergood,
Yes.
the documentary series that he does on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was popping a squat, taking a poo. And what better way to spend that time than watching one of those? So I watched the Evergood thing on Josh Grant, and I learned that. Now, speaking of Andrew Campo, ex-Verb Moto,
Yeah.
Verb Moto versus Joey Savacci.
That was a fully called for haymaker.
I didn't even know what to say.
I laughed out loud when I read it.
Yeah, me too. No, I and see what's funny is, you know, they've since deleted the post.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it's off of the Verb Moto Instagram.
Oh.
But KP Bad Ranch sent me the screen cap, and dude, I saw it because I had saw the photo of the Lego guys a couple times.
Yeah.
And I was like, haha, that's funny. And then I saw what they said, and I was like, dude, nailed it. Now,
Yeah.
I've never really been a Savacci fan because I used to see the way that he was at the amateur nationals, and for some reason I haven't forgiven him for being a punk-ass teenager.
Yeah, he's always kind of had that bad attitude kind of thing, like kind of like a poor sport type attitude to me. Every time I've seen him, you know, I've tried to talk to him before at a couple of races, and not like the most friendliest guy that, you know, not, you know, he may have been focused on other things, that's cool, but, you know, just his podium interviews,
Yeah.
he's
Not very personable.
right.
He told me good job one time on Mad Skills.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
I beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good race.
So for those of you that are listening that did not see the Verb Moto post, so somebody put together these Lego guys that look like Osborne and Savacci and a little track and everything, and it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
But the Verb Moto post says some things are just solid gold. Versace Savacci 17 took so many public stabs at us over the years, slamming us on Vital MX whenever he could, and crying that we never gave him the exposure he deserved. Well, here's your exposure, buddy. Hope you enjoyed as much as we do. And it's, like I said, these Lego people of Osborne taking out Savacci. So pretty bold.
That's, yeah.
Very bold.
I like it when a company will stand up like that. I
But
think
on the
it's
other
cool.
hand, we're also talking about a company that's in the grave.
But they're not around anymore, are they?
Verb's gone.
Just their Instagram.
Yeah, and they never post. In the last year, they have like 3 posts.
Is
But
Verb
the new Verb is Evergood, correct?
Yeah.
is Verb the one who did the Read meta thing?
They still do that.
They do
like
that?
it's
Well,
not.
that was a spinoff.
Yeah,
That's Campo's magazine.
Oh, It's still going?
Yes.
Yes.
I've never read it. Never looked at it.
Well, it's bi-monthly. So
Okay.
there's only 6 issues per year.
Gotcha.
But it's more about motorcycling culture than just motocross.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got 3 more hot topics. You ready?
Hit me.
Boom. Both Intignap brothers.
Go ahead.
There were people that had bad luck in Vegas, but the 2 of them, that was bad luck.
Did you know they got hurt?
You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
Both of them got hurt.
No.
Jeff's looking at me like, what? Okay, so Tyler
Yeah.
comes up short in the rhythm section as you exit the stadium.
And he's got a transfer spot in the semi.
Yes. He's riding.
On the triple or the quad?
I don't think he was going for the quad, but I think he was
Okay.
going for the triple of the quad.
Okay.
He's riding balls out, and he is riding fantastic. Comes up short, and you're like, oh, that had to hurt, whatever. Well, he rides off the side of the track, falls over, broke his tib and his fib.
Surgery.
It did not look that
On
bad.
the crash?
Yeah. Well, he didn't crash.
He didn't crash.
He came
okay,
up short,
whenever he came up short.
rode off the side, and just fell over.
Yeah.
And then they didn't show it for obvious reasons in the 450 main, but now I'm getting confused. Adam went down in the whoop section, got hit by Weimer, and broke how many ribs?
I don't know. He broke a few ribs, did some other damage too, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking like a collarbone or something. So both
Yeah.
Intignap brothers,
Same night.
same night, Vegas.
And that would have been Tyler's first main. He had it. I think it was last lap or close to last lap.
And the week before was Tyler was the one that was going to make the main again, and those guys lawn darted and got his legs stuck in his back wheel.
Yep.
If I was Tyler on that,
Poor Tyler.
If I was Tyler, I would have just pinned it.
I wonder if either of them are going to be back for. I don't know. Do they even do outdoor nationals?
I was going to say good for them. They don't do outdoors.
Okay.
They don't do outdoors.
Yeah.
Adam
I think they work all summer to save up for Supercross. From what I understand, I'm
Yeah,
not
but-
100%, but I think that's what they do.
You know what they do during the summer?
What?
They lay fence.
You don't lay fence.
What do you do with it?
Well, maybe you do.
What do you
lay-
call it?
I don't know.
Hang fence?
Hang fence? I don't know. That just sounds weird. I'm going to lay fence.
Well,
You
either
can
way.
lay pipe.
Right. That makes sense. Like, I'm laying pipe.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah. But you don't lay fence.
Well, anyway, they have a fencing crew that they operate on during the summer.
And from the fame that he gains from Supercross, he's laying pipe after laying fence.
And he's a rapper.
And he's a rapper.
You got that GD right.
Right. Okay. What a transition into our final one.
What number is this? Do you have a number?
I don't have a number.
Go ahead.
Last one. Outdoors, 2 weeks away. Hangtown.
Yes. The Eli Tomac Show.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Who's your picks? 250 and 450. Jeff, go.
250. Is Jordan Smith okay from his crash?
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say Smith is hot. McElrath is hot. Basically, anybody that's on a KTM is going to be fast.
You're just saying that because you were born on KTM.
And also,
You rode KTMs when they weren't
highly
cool.
expect Jeremy Martin to do very well and Aaron Plessinger. I think between those 4 or 5 riders, I didn't say fifth name, but I'll just use that as Racer X. Those are the obvious names. I don't expect. Zach Osborne. That's who I was thinking of. So Zach will do great.
He just left out the champ. Don't worry about
sorry.
it.
No, I think that he'll do really good.
He had a few solid rides last year.
Yeah.
Now that he's got KP Bad Wrench, he's bound
And
to
he's
win.
got KP Bad Wrench during the week.
Does KP Bad Wrench get anything off that championship win? Like, KP going to get a little kickback, maybe a new tool set or something?
He won't have to shop at Harbor Freight anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is with Zach. I'm sure that he'll get something, but what the extent of it is, I don't know.
well, they're partying so hard KP couldn't even come on the show this week.
You know, whenever Keith was wrenching for Kenny, he was supposed to get a new bike from RCH. He was supposed to get a Suzuki. That never happened.
Okay.
That's a bummer.
That is a
That
bummer.
was his bonus, was to get a new bike.
Your picks, Nick. 250s and 450s. Oh, you didn't say 450.
No.
You didn't say
Uh-uh.
450.
I already said Tomac.
Okay, Tomac.
Yeah. I think Tomac's going to run away with it. Now that he has the Cowie figured out,
Yeah.
I think he's going to run away with it. I think there's going to be lots of different guys get podiums.
Yeah.
I think Tomac's going to be the guy to beat. it's going to be hard to say, who second and third might be, but, but as far as 250s, I think Jeremy Martin is definitely going to be really good. All the guys Jeff said, but I think we're going to see some good stuff out of Austin Faulkner. I think towards the end of the year last year, he was sending it. Did you guys watch Southwick?
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah,
He also looked good at the
he was sending it.
MXGP too.
Oh, 450s, I think Cooper Webb. I think he'll be pretty good outdoors.
Yes, that was going to be. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, in the 250 class, I think we just named like 7 different riders that are easily capable of winning motos in the first 5 races.
There's at least 10 riders, I think, in each class that could legitimately win a moto.
Yeah.
Now Tomac's definitely going to be hard to beat, but, I mean, all those guys in the 450 class are fast. They're all phenomenal.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
I haven't played the game Jet Moto in like 20-something years.
Yeah.
And you know how when you play a game so much that the sound is just ringing in your ears and you're like, I can't play it anymore. I have to shut it off.
Yes.
Jet Moto right now. So much Jet Moto. Oh, it's gone. It's coming back though. It's coming back.
Are we done with Hot Topics?
I think so. One little known fact.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to be listening or not, but if they are, I have to give a shout out, a thank you to Kevin and Penny Bridges. We will actually be going to Hangtown this year.
Really?
Yes. Going to go out to Hangtown and maybe do a little announcing. Amateur day, I'm told pretty much for sure.
Yes.
Maybe hang out, do some announcing here and there. Maybe on pro day if somebody's feeling ill.
Okay.
But regardless, we're going out to Hangtown. I'm really excited. This is the first national I've been to in a long time. Millville was my last one, and that was many years ago.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was hoping to go to Hangtown to ride.
Speaking of nationals, are you going to ride any nationals?
That's the plan. Right now, I'm
Our boy Petey here, he rode some supercross this year.
Yeah, I failed. I was not good.
Are you gonna step up your game for outdoors?
Yeah, I'm a much better outdoor rider. But I'm waiting. I'm working on getting a bike built right now. So I'm just waiting on parts, and unfortunately, it's taking a little longer than I had hoped.
500 two-stroke.
I wish.
That's it. Hot Topics are over. Jet Moto is done. Game over.
The Hot Topics are over.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the Hot Topics.
So you were saying that you wanted to do, you are going to do outdoor nationals, one? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to do as many as I can. I got to kind of play it week to week because of how expensive they are, and I don't really have any help. So yeah, week to week, but I'm going to do as many as I possibly can.
Which one is your first one that you're planning on?
Hold on, stand by 1 second. Yeah, we're. That's
back?
weird. That kind of clipped over the top of another. Whatever. So, yeah, just whatever you can afford to do.
Yeah, week to week. So,
High point.
Ideally, I was planning on doing Hangtown, but since my bike's not ready, body's not quite ready for that. I'm gonna skip the first 3, which is Hangtown, Glen Hill, and Thunder Valley, and then although High Point's pretty far. That's a month away, so I might be able to put it together to get to High Point, and then Tennessee, Redbud are the 2 following. Tennessee's pretty close, so relatively for all the nationals. So those 2 seem to be realistic. So week to week.
Earlier this year, whenever I bought that 250 SX, I was like, I'm gonna get back in shape and I'm gonna go race Millville on pro day. I seriously considered it a lot. And then I learned how much it is to buy the goddamn pro license now.
It's $350.
Yeah, it didn't used to be.
It's a lot.
The last time that I bought it was $225. I can't.
$225, $350 to ride Millville on pro day with a 2-stroke.
That's your license.
You're gonna.
Then you have a $250 entry fee. Then you have a $500 weekend to travel.
It would cost me $1,000 to go ride practice.
Yep.
You'd love it.
Not for $1,000.
I'd love
You could go up there Memorial Day weekend and ride 3 days in a row up there for less than that.
And still get my ass handed to me in practice.
Because there's some fast local kids.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think you should spend the $1,000.
Why don't you pay me to do it?
No, what I was thinking was you spend the $1,000, I'll tag along. I'll cheer you on.
I wish Suzuki would pay the modulation fee so I could ride my 06 RM250.
Well, they can't do that because it's out of date. The bike is, you can only ride 2-year-old bikes.
No, you can ride older than that. They just have to have had obviously I think the 06 is definitely way too old, but if they've paid the modulation fee, then it's good. Like, I think the Yamaha you can ride right now as far back as 2013.
It's homologation.
Homologation?
Yeah, that's how you say the word.
Homodulation? I don't know.
Homogenation.
Homogenation?
It's
Yeah,
all
Nick
the
will
same to
definitely
me.
homo it up.
Yeah. But I think that would be sweet.
So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up right now.
Yeah, Honda, 2013.
No, you're not.
Kawasaki goes back to... They all go back to 2013.
Probably because they haven't changed since then.
Well, yeah, that's how... They just... the fee they pay lasts for, I think, 2 or 3 years. Or so.
What's the fee?
The manufacturer just has to pay a certain amount of money for that motorcycle to be eligible.
Could we all team together and get your bike legalized?
No.
No. Jeff, you know what you should do?
What?
You should ride the National aboard your Von Zipper KTM.
You knew where I was going with that.
I sure did, and I couldn't resist.
So, Nick, did you listen to the one where I threw Von Zipper under the bus?
I listened to them all.
And Spy,
and
which
Spy.
then
Spy.
later Racer X posted a thing about Spy's, some kind of new program that Spy's got.
Seriously?
Yes.
Didn't see that. Yeah. I wonder if that's included with their dude with beer drinking.
Did you
beer.
fact check or...
No, Spy. Okay, Spy for sure. I don't know.
Home of the Happy Lens.
What?
Home of the Happy Lens.
Correct. Yeah.
Go on about Von Zipper. I'm going to look up the Spy thing.
Okay, so you listen to me talking about how Von Zipper's for sale.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, yes, they are for sale. That is public knowledge. Now, where I got my information about both Spy and Von Zipper was from the same person in the same conversation. And I think that what he was communicating was mixed up. And I was interpreting that as something other than what was actually being said. So you had, I was reading it differently than he intended it to be read.
Yep.
And then he was responding in the wrong way from what I said to him before that. Okay, now that that's cleared up.
What you're saying is we had unintentional clickbait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Von Zipper called me.
Yeah. They said, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, okay. So the guy's name is Pat Lopez.
Okay.
Pat set me straight on what the record
Said,
is.
listen here, Chief.
Smacked you right across the face.
I got a pretty good backhanding. Yeah. My toe was between my legs for a minute.
Okay.
Pat's a super, super cool, chill dude. He's very passionate about motocross.
Was he upset that you released your discount info?
Yes.
Was he really?
He was. That was.
They
what
don't like that.
He was more upset about that than anything else.
They do
Than
not
the fact
like
that you totally false reported on the company?
Yep.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Way to go, Pat. Is his name Pat?
Yeah. So now
I'm not cool enough. I didn't get the phone call.
there's another layer to this 7-layer shit show. Okay. So I got my deal on Hook It through VZ. That's how they do all of their sponsorship programs now. Save for like Josh Grant, who's their star athlete. He typed up this long personal email after sending me the offer through Hook It. Never push send. And
Did he think he pushed send?
No. He thought he pushed send, but never pushed the send button or whatever happened. I don't know. But he said that he specifically remembered sending me this email talking about all of the information that I got wrong. No, he set me straight in the email that I never got. That whole conversation that I had about, or talk that I had about Von Zipper on the last episode, all of that information was
Wrong. I love so much the fact that you're wrong. I don't know. It makes me happy.
I was close, but I got it wrong.
Well, how are you close?
Well, I did get got the facts straight of them being for sale. But here's what I didn't know. Von Zipper is owned by, like many companies, Billabong.
Are you supposed to be talking about this? Or are you going to get another email?
I think the shirt I'm wearing is made by Billabong.
No, that's out in the open.
Okay.
That's publicly traded information. Okay. Now they're looking for a new buyer. Now, come to find out,
Billabong is looking for a new buyer, or they want someone to buy Von Zipper?
So Billabong. Okay, Von Zipper started in the 90s, right? And then Billabong saw that they were growing, knew that they needed help, gave them the homie hookup, bought the company out, gave them funding and capital for them to build the brand, build the sunglasses, the goggles, get into snow, really build it for what it was worth. Okay, so what Billabong has done time and time again with numerous of these brands is they will buy these companies and build it and sell it off to an investment firm, to a retail, group, something like that. So that's what they're doing. They helped the company build the brand with money or infrastructure, and then now they're selling it for a profit. I don't know what the numbers are, but I know it's a lot of money. And I also know that the same thing is happening with Spy, but I guess that Spy is they're allegedly getting out of motocross. And I've heard that more than one time from more than one person.
Well, until we get a call from you get a call from Spy.
And can I just go ahead and say that further details that I feel like Spy doesn't give a shit.
Or they didn't listen to our show.
Well, they knew that it existed.
Spy?
Yes.
How?
How could they not? You tagged them in a post.
I have a lot of sponsors who don't care about me.
You even said on the show, though, you tag them all the time. They don't pay attention to you. So maybe they're just not paying attention.
I think that's what they do is not pay attention.
That's probably true.
So anyway, let me just go ahead and finish this.
Yes.
Pat calls me. Dude, starts giving me the rundown about Von Zipper, who started the company, when he started there, who he left a good job at Transworld to go to VZ.
He worked at Transworld?
Yeah, he was a TW guy.
No way.
So whenever he told me that, I was like, okay, I'm golden. I'm, not going to get in too much trouble here. And he went on for like a solid 20 minutes. And then I think he realized how long he'd been talking to me, giving me the full story of Von Zipper. And part of me was like, man, what the fuck does this guy care about what I think over Von Zipper? And he's like, is this okay if I keep going? Because I just really want to get this, this message clear. He's like, I don't know how many listeners you have, but I want to set the record straight with you. I was like, dude, give it to me.
10,000.
Yeah. So he, between you and I playing the episode 5,000 times. Yeah. So
I play it on repeat.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That really helps our ratings.
Yeah. We much appreciate it.
I have 3 radios or 3 devices that I play it on.
Perfect.
Simultaneously?
Yeah, so I get an echo.
That's a goal that all of our listeners should achieve. So Pat's, I'm like, dude, riff, keep telling me, riff more. Tell me. So he goes on and is telling me all the stuff, the full history of the company. And a lot of it is stuff that I can't repeat. But he said that every person at Von Zipper knows what the Over the Bars podcast is now, knows who I am.
There's a target on your
back. They all went from ultimately hyped to very bummed real quick. And Pat was like, "Is that you talking? Is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's me." He's like, "Well, you do a good job, and man, I was so psyched because I thought, you were gonna really just put us on the pedestal and keep going." And he was like, "Dude, this is my guy. This is the kind of people that I want, representing the brand." And he's just like sitting there, relishing. I did a good job. I picked the right guy, and then I blow him out.
You berm blasted him.
And he was so bummed. Yeah. And so he messaged me on Instagram. It was like, "Hey, Chef, how you doing? This is Pat Lopez with Von Zipper. I heard your podcast, and there's a couple things that I'd like to talk to you about." And I didn't even respond. "Hey, what's up, bro?" I just responded, "Call me," and gave him my number. And he did a couple hours later, and I talked to him on the phone for 2 hours about motocross, the industry, why I felt like I, wanted to put VZ on blast. And I told him, I was so sour from Spy that whenever I got this Hook It deal, and then my sister is sitting there just shit-talking Hook It, and I'm over here just like, "Yeah, fuck this. This shit sucks. This brand sucks," was going on, and I just had a bad mindset over it. Come to find out,
You were a little grumpy last episode.
I was a little grumpy.
Yeah.
Come to find out, VZ's killing it. Their first sale for a massive profit, Billabong's going to do very well off of that. The company's not going anywhere. They're continuing to make goggles. They're continuing to make tear-offs. See, now here's where a lot of the what is it called whenever a plane turbulence? Oh, so a lot of the turbulence came from their deal that they had with Tucker Rocky. So VZ was distributed by Tucker Rocky, and then mutually they ended their agreement. So they stopped being distributed into every shop that Tucker Rocky sold. So that made it seem like it was a major blow to the company. But what they did is during that time with their distributorship, they made all the contacts that they needed. And I think from what I gathered that they went into that deal with Tucker of it being a temporary thing and wanted to build their infrastructure. And now they sell direct to all their stores that carries VZ.
So Von Zipper is not going anywhere.
Von Zipper is going nowhere. They're
still in motocross.
VZ is going up, if anything.
They're
Nowhere
still
but up.
Now here comes. They're still in motocross. Is Jeff Crutcher still a rider for Von Zipper?
Yeah, did you get the boot?
Nope, I'm still on board. Pat's happy to have me.
What's your discount?
Fuck off.
Good, you learned something.
That's what it is. Mind your own damn business.
That's good. Okay, we're making
Defend
progress.
the brand.
I think I'm gonna have to pay double on my first set.
Yeah.
Yeah, your cost is 50% above retail.
Wow. Okay, so good news, Von Zipper's still here. Now, okay, so Racer X reports.
Yes.
Maybe this is what you were talking about. I don't
Okay.
know. Spy launches #BrosYouKnow campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, don't roll your eyes. I'm going to tag them again. They might listen this time. Here's the athletes involved in the Bros You Know campaign.
Okay.
They're slaying it, by the way. Amit Dadali, he's a professional skier. Alex Gray, which is a professional surfer.
How many of these people are motocross racers?
I'm getting
no.
to that.
I don't want to know who the rest of them are.
Maybe everybody else does. Okay, nobody else cares.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Okay, Axel Hodges.
Okay.
Jeremy McGrath.
Has a stake in the company.
And
Cole Seeley?
no.
He's not even on the list.
But this is for the Bros campaign. They play a role, which is in a television commercial to District Chicago's web series, Liars. So
I don't understand.
okay, these are commercials that are playing
In Chicago?
No. The show District Chicago's web. I don't know. There's a web series called Liars.
Okay.
During the show Liars,
Yeah.
is the Spy commercials, which is going to be with this Bros You Know campaign, and these are the people that are starring in those commercials.
Okay.
So the only motocrossers that are starring in them are Axel and Jeremy.
And they're not really doing anything motocrossy.
I don't know what they're
Free
doing.
riding, probably.
Spy will partner with the Chive on web advertising.
Big boobies.
There are types of bros featured in the campaign. I'm really just trying to save face right now for them.
Does the Chive have stuff other than boobies?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You know what? I've never been a chiver.
Me neither.
I've only seen boobies on there.
Every time I think of chives, I think of a loaded baked potato
Yeah.
Me too.
with chives on top.
I
You're
love
talking quietly again,
it.
Nick.
Quiet. I need the headphones.
Talking boys.
I forget.
But anyway, okay, so I don't know if you're right or wrong about Spy, but I think we should just throw it out there that you may or may not be right or wrong.
Let me just throw this out there that I'm done with Spy.
I like Spy, but I've never had an experience like you've had with Spy.
I tried to negotiate a sponsorship with Spy after I used their product for like 5 years straight.
You're talking quietly again.
They didn't
Here,
even
take
wanna-
the headphones.
Yeah, I need the headphones.
He's taking the headphones. He's got them.
So much better.
Yeah.
They didn't even care to talk to me at all. They said no. Bye.
But I mean, from a business standpoint, if you think about it, if you have it's like Fox could survive if they didn't sponsor anyone but Austin Fortner and the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team.
Fox can survive and sponsor nobody.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, from a business standpoint, maybe Spy just doesn't need to sponsor anybody.
It's possible.
Maybe.
I mean, when it costs $3 to make a set of goggles and they're selling them for $60, they're making a lot of money.
$60 after a discount
Yeah, I don't even know
What
what
is your
they are.
discount?
with Spy.
Just your discount?
I get everything for free.
Pat, Pete, Paul. Did you hear that?
Everyone gives me everything for free. That's what I'm just going to tell people. Free.
Free.
It's all free.
Free.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I don't pay for anything.
Product allotment.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so I'm glad we've cleared that up. Fawn Zipper is good to go.
And I cannot wait to start ordering their goggles.
Is that from a moto equipment side of things? That's all that they offer, correct? At this time, or they have gloves,
No, I believe they're strictly goggle and tear off.
goggle and tariff. Okay,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of other stuff, like off the track.
Snow goggles.
They're pretty big in snow, aren't they?
Yeah.
but I mean,
they're
don't they have
huge.
like shirts and hats?
Well, yeah, everybody's got accessories.
I'm saying they got
Clothing,
cool stuff.
merchandise,
There's
if
a
you
lot
will.
of companies out there that have shirts and accessories. You had shirts and accessories.
Used to.
Yeah.
I used to. Sure did.
Well, that got weird.
Can I just say, while Nick is in our presence,
Mhm.
how good did our bike sound at Casey Moto on Sunday, collectively?
When you two were together?
Or
are you just saying-
together, separate, either, anything? I don't know, just two strokes.
Good.
Yeah.
There was a few times we were together on the track.
Yeah, we had
We
some
started right next to each other.
in one moto.
One moto.
458 Moto 2.
Moto 2.
Yep.
Yep.
I made some gnarly passes in that moto.
Is
I
this that
made-
race report that Josh was talking about?
Well, we already did it. Now we're doing it again.
Yeah. I made one gnarly pass on you after the finish line, and I told you about this, but
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was going to kill us both.
I did the same exact thing to Kevin Moran's.
Yeah.
Where you cut over on him?
I didn't cut over on him. I about killed myself and him in the process.
Right after the finish line.
Yeah.
That corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't let him have it.
Yeah.
No, I ran him hard into that corner and hit those braking bumps on the very end side.
Yeah.
And it was do or die. And
Yeah.
neither do nor die happened.
Who were you next to when you were on the outside and you cut over to the inside? You passed somebody,
I don't know.
but when you did that, that was a lot closer than I think you realize.
Really?
Yeah, they were hard on the binders.
The old John Barry trick.
Does he do that outside?
Oh my gosh. John, I like John, but anytime I'm around John, he will cut from one side of the track to the other. If I'm behind him trying to pass him, I'm on the inside, he's on the outside. He will cut lines, and he may not even realize. I don't think he realizes it, but he does it every turn.
Maybe he just does that all the way around the track, whether somebody's in front of him or behind him.
He could, but all I know is every time I'm near him and I'm trying to pass him, he is going from one side to the other every turn.
I'm a fan. I like it. Reminds me of Dustin Curley.
Yep, I can see that. Mm-hmm. But
Man,
Squirrely Curly.
Dustin Curley. Haven't
Yeah.
heard that name in a long time.
Well, you just heard it right here.
On the OTB podcast.
He started racing again for like half a year.
Yeah. He did those arena crosses.
Yeah.
Hey,
And he was pretty good at a couple of them. He actually rode pretty good a couple times, I thought.
Yes, sir.
the Nitro Arena Cross Tour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to forget the name of it. They acquired another Arena Cross series?
Oh, the
Moto X Tour or AX Tour.
AX Tour.
Yes.
Yeah, which was the Motorsport AX Tour.
Yes.
That guy runs the guy who owned that runs an AX Tour in Canada.
Yes.
still.
That's what Jay was telling me.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But does he live in Canada?
I think so.
Like, why
I'm not,
Canada?
I'm not 100% sure, but
Why would you go from
think-
Mississippi and Georgia to Canada?
I think he stays in Canada.
Well, when you have the rider base, if
Now,
you're smart.
is the one in Canada that he runs, is it like an amateur deal or is it the one on TV? Like, there's a Canadian Arena Cross Tour on TV. on
I
Mav
think
TV.
it's like an amateur one, like the Nitro Tour.
Okay.
Yeah, so are they going to do it split series, or is it going to be one series?
I
next
think it's
year?
all going to be one series, if I'm not mistaken.
I think.
I'm not sure.
I just hope
They have a schedule released, I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember though if was Tunica, Mississippi. Was that on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Nitro.
Yep.
No.
It was AX Tour.
Okay,
I went to
is-
that one.
That is on the schedule because they're doing a what am I trying to say? Like a webcast.
Well, I think he's. I think he.
Like
show?
I think he merged the two series together, but he's going to call it all Nitro. AX Nitro Arena Cross.
But I think there's 17 rounds this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he wants to break
Yeah.
it up
East, west.
regionally.
Yeah, and then the finals
and north and south, I think.
The finals are, I think, in Tunica. Is Tunica a big arena?
Tunica's the biggest one they've got.
It
Okay.
was a pretty decent sized one.
It's either in Tunica or Tulsa. I want to say.
Tulsa, I think, is a big one as well.
Yeah, Tunica has more seats. I think that Tunica is a casino arena.
I was there. There's a casino by there. I don't think there's a casino connected to it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good size, and it did have a lot of seating.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a live from like 4 or 5 races. They're going to do a live, like web show.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You want to know how many Nitro AX Tour races you'll find me at? 0. That's correct. 0.
I nailed it.
did they throw a water bottle at you?
No.
No.
No. If anybody at that event threw a water bottle at me, it would be fire and brimstone.
Do you remember the Arena Cross at Hale Arena when you came up short on the finish line, fell off the side of your bike? It drug you all the way to the brick wall, and I thought you were dead, but you somehow miraculously hopped back on your bike and continued on.
I remember I watched that race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the coolest thing.
Yeah,
ever.
that was a gnarly little incident that I had there.
You were headed straight at the brick wall.
I remember
on the
that.
throttle.
On the throttle, hanging
Yeah.
off the side of your bike.
Yeah.
Both knees were dragging the ground, and somehow you managed to kick your feet up, pick yourself up, and
Oh yeah, that was a scary event.
Was-
You know what's funny? John Barry's dad ripped me a new one that day.
what for?
I don't remember.
That would have been when John Barry was on a 65.
yeah, John was still on mini bikes.
Yeah. Was that the same race where Jonan and Metcalf were getting into it, or was that the
Oh,
year
dog, I don't
later?
know. No, I think that was a Buku race at Kemper.
No. It was at Hale, but I think it might have been the year later.
Do you guys remember the over-under?
Of
Yeah.
course, that thing was.
I remember the first year they tried it, they couldn't finish it because the dirt guys kind of screwed them over on bringing dirt in. Didn't get them enough.
I don't remember that.
Only at Wahlberg Promotions Arena Cross.
My God, there's so much hate right now for the Wahlberg Promotions.
No, there's not.
I like what they're doing. I respect what they're doing. We've just had some disagreements.
God.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to the Cass County Fair?
Nope.
I don't like racing the Cass County Fair. Not because of the event. I don't know. It's always really humid.
It is.
You're dying.
Really hot.
And every time I go there, I have some problems. In fact, John Barry,
Had problems with him?
yeah, he did the old novice class. I'm going to cut the whole entire turn and T-bone you for no reason. So we went back and forth a few times.
You know, I've done that race so many times, and I've won it a couple, enough for me to be like, you know what? I'm not that interested. I did it in 2014 and had decent results. But, dude, it's just, like Nick said, it is so hot and so just
Muggy.
sweltering.
Yeah.
Muggy.
Your
So
goggles
muggy.
are done by the time you get to the
Starting line,
by
yeah.
the time you get to the first turn.
Yeah, and so I don't know. There's just something about that race where it's like the luster's gone, and plus
Yep.
I work nights a lot now, so it's hard.
I always go to watch.
There's a lot of money up for grabs, though, isn't there?
Not like there
I've
used to
never
be.
made any money there.
It's only $1,000 purse now.
No. Lambert always throws in extra money, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lambert
He
always...
actually he didn't last year.
He didn't.
The first year
I
he
remember
didn't for
this.
a long time.
I remember last year I walked the track, and it looked like they hadn't touched it from the year before. Not even a tiny bit.
Last year, I raced the No, that was the year before that I raced the UTV class.
on a separate night.
Yeah, it was on quad night. And I ran...
Quad night.
Yes. And I ran the UTV class, and I pray to God he's listening right now. This kid from our hometown sucker punched me after I clean passed him because he's just a squirrely nut job driver. Okay, so he goes wide in the corner before the finish line.
Yeah.
And so I cut to the inside. I did a bike move, but we're in razors.
Mm-hmm.
So he just plows into the side of me, wads up my door, and I'm like, you're such an idiot. Then after the race, he gets on Facebook, and he's like, I was the only guy clearing that back double. No, he was over jumping and flat landing, but that's not the point. You're supposed to downside it and land on the landing.
Right.
So I'm doing it like good.
Oh, but he thinks because he's OJing that he's cool.
Right. So then he's on Facebook, and then after the race, he came over and he's like, I guess just taking people out or whatever is how we're going to play it. And I'm like, it just pissed me off beyond belief.
Yeah.
It made me really angry. I'm really angry about this.
I can tell you're a little lit right now.
He's just irritating.
It's okay. Get fired up, Maier.
Are you going to get revenge this year?
Okay, so I sold I had a Polaris Razor.
Yeah.
And I sold my Polaris Razor, and I was kind of like, man, I'm done for right now, but I'm really itching for another one right now. But the new Yamaha YXZ with it's got a clutch and shifter and all that.
It's got I think it's got a R1 motor in it.
Dude,
Those things are sweet.
it's gnarly.
That sounds gnarly.
They look funny. They look kind of like a roachy beetle.
Yeah, but they are fast.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Am I going to do the Cass County Fair? It's not really ideal for UTVs in the sense that it's pretty narrow for like a side-by-side.
Yep.
But if I catch wind that Numbnuts is doing it again, absolutely I'll be there. I will go out. I will rent
Borrow one.
I will rent a golf cart
Yeah.
if I have to.
He might hurt you.
Okay. I'm going to rent
Gator.
a mule.
Mule 550.
Yeah, I'm going to get me a mule.
He can't hurt you.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea. I think you should do it.
I will. I'll find out if he's racing.
I think that you should get vengeance.
Because
upon
that's how you
thine
solve
enemies,
things. That's right.
And you will paint the track with the blood of numbnuts.
You went a little far there, but
That's what I do.
yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Well, it's an hour 45.
Hour 45. Can we throw a quick shout out? I hope Jerry C is doing okay. Jerry C had a mishap this weekend in the announcing lift with me.
Yep.
He blew out a lawn chair.
And landed on his fingers.
Landed on his fingers.
That's probably, I guarantee you that's why I haven't heard from him, because he hurt his fingers, so he can't text me.
Probably so.
Poor Jerry.
Poor Jerry C. He was just talking about coming out to my house and ride with my dad too.
And then he hurt his fingers.
Well, then he's laying there with his fingers smashed in this chair in the lift, and he says, "Damn it, Mike! I can't even sit in a chair. You want me to come out and ride?" And I'm
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Old Jerry C. Actually, he calls me Mikey. He's called me Mikey since day one.
yeah.
Mikey G.
Yeah, Mikey G.
Yeah, I know.
Mikey G.
I'm
He calls
familiar.
me Nicky P.
I call you Petey. I don't know where that even came from.
I
just
get 100 different nicknames.
I just called you. I just started
What
calling
did
you
I
Petey.
call him on the Nikolai Petterhansel?
Yeah.
I never heard that one.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of nicknames.
I'm sure you do. I've read RJ's got a couple for you.
He probably does.
I'm just going to start calling you Waterball.
He did call me. He did call me some names.
I'm sure
I forgot to mention that, but he did call me some unfavorable names, like multiple times.
He motherfucked you.
No, he called me a fuckhead.
Oh,
Like 5 times. Literally like 5 times.
You know, I can say
That's
there have
so
been
much
times
worse.
that you have been a fuckhead indeed.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there has. At that point
Guilty
in time,
as charged.
But at that point in time, I legitimately didn't feel like it was necessary because what I did was purely an accident.
Okay. Nicholas, is there anybody that you'd like to say thanks to or, et cetera, before we... well, okay. You're at The Big Show?
At The Big Show 400.
Yes. On
the Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not self-proclaimed.
Any shout-outs?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out all my sponsors. I got a lot of sponsors.
Can
I
you
can't
thank your
thank my
sponsors? Or
sponsors.
can't thank my
sponsors, no.
sponsors?
I can. Not can't.
you can?
I can.
Go.
Give us your top 5. I want the top 5 sponsors.
My top 5?
Yes.
Skills, my new gear sponsor, he stepped it up and helped me out this year. It was kind of a late deal, so
Who?
Skills.
Not
It's,
Skittles. Skills.
Skills, Skillz. It's a new gear. He's based out of Mexico. He's got a couple supercross riders, and basically it's full customizable gear. He's got some designs, and you can order gear, and you can get any colorway you want.
It's cool stuff.
It's sublimated, so all your logos and your name and stuff are in the material.
Oh, that is cool.
It's really cool stuff. I'm really excited to be wearing it because I really
Is that
like
what you had
it.
on at Casey Moto?
Yeah.
Oh, it did look good.
Yeah. I really like it. So far, it's some of the best gear I've worn as far as durability. Really good stuff. But aside from skills,
4 to go.
ODI, my handlebars and grips, they've always been behind me. 100%'s been behind me for several years. Donnell's for sure. They help me out with my racing, and I run my business, Bikeworks LLC. So they allow me to bike parts and make money off parts. So that's a big one.
I think he still has a couple to go.
No, that was 5.
What was that, 5?
Yeah.
There's a few.
Oh, he's riding a Donnell Suzuki bar bike.
Thank you for that. Oh, literally. Yeah,
Literally he's riding a bar
But
bike.
Didn't Bart always run Pro Circuit pipe and silencer? I feel like he did.
I don't know.
I know my bike, that 06, originally came from Donnell's.
Did it?
I know the original owner, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
That's why the bike is so good.
Full cycle.
It originally came from Donnell's, so that makes it's not a lemon. Do you know what a lemon is?
It's kind of like a lime.
It's like a bike that just has problems after problems. Not favorable.
Well, shout out to our patreon.com/overthebars pledges. Corey Hipp, Matt Maier, Josh Hudson, Ethan Sloniker,
Hunter Clements.
and Hunter Clements. That's right.
That's right. And Petey at Von Zipper. Thanks for listening, Petey.
Pat
Lopez.
Lopez.
Pat. Sorry, Pat.
Powerful Pat.
Powerful Pat.
He's going to give you a call now.
To set you straight on his name.
I could use some goggles when I'm wheeling around.
Well,
When you're what?
When I'm wheeling around.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pulling tear-offs.
Yeah, catching some roost.
Catching decal glue fiber around here.
Flingage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ink spatter.
Ink spatter. I would gladly rock some Von Zipper goggles while printing stickers.
And pulling tear-offs.
And pulling tear-offs.
You're going to have them stuck to your tires.
I'll do it.
You're going to roll around here and have them stuck. You're going to be slipping and sliding.
That's it. I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
I'm ready.